So here I am on the Lopez Bay, Bahia Lopez trail that just kind of goes around the bay here, and really nice quiet day early in the morning. Got the birds chirping, a little bit of fauna, and yeah, it's just a relaxing time. I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of why I decided to take this trip out to Argentina. You know, with the state of the world right now, everything seems to be so chaotic. All these geopolitical conflicts building up, the tension, the propaganda, the gears of war in motion. And you know, in general, it just seems like, in the United States in particular, we just have come to a point where our culture seems to be kind of imploding on itself. Everyone is under such stress, and we just seem to be continuously pushed to produce like little consumerist machines. And it's as if we can't find a sense of inner peace, a sense of connection with community, belonging in the world, to take time to be more at peace with ourselves. We are just kind of ground into dust, if you will, on this fast track to who knows what, but we seem to be all kind of just under this pressure, this expectation that we have to live a certain life, we have to have certain things, acquire a certain level of financial prestige. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having financial stability and being able to enjoy the good things in life. But, you know, sometimes I think we just lose focus kind of the greater purpose of why we're here, why we're alive. And it's most definitely not to just consume and to constantly be judging ourselves and others and comparing ourselves to these people that live these supposedly picturesque, ideal lives with luxury and, you know, having the specific material possessions that indicate a certain status symbol. And I say, to me, that's really not what this is all about, this journey. It's really much more about kind of finding your inner peace in your place in this world, and what are your talents and what are your specific gifts that the divine powers that be have given to you. And I find that when you kind of focus more on that as your goal to get to that level of peace, to get to that level of acceptance of who you are, life is just a lot more enjoyable and enriching. We're gonna make our way to the little shoreline here. So yeah. I mean, I'm not here to judge anyone. Everyone's got their own path. But I certainly find it to be just kind of disheartening, the amount of stress that we're under, especially in the United States and in the greater Western world at large. And the fact that so many of us don't really seem to be able to even really get by, you know? I mean, we're living paycheck to paycheck, most of us. I have for most of my life. Heck, I was living in my truck for the last year. I saved up some money and decided to just kind of book it out of the US and take a trip here to Argentina. And I don't regret it at all, even though I know that potentially when I get back I'll be broke and I'll have to start all over again, find another job in construction and carpentry and get back into the hustle and bustle and grind. Though part of me is like, hey, maybe try to find a way to live out here, get a job out here, but that's always a bit complicated. Nonetheless, it's a possibility. It's something that you can do. You know, we don't necessarily have to live in our country of origin. Plenty of people come to the United States as immigrants, and who's to say we can't go live in another country ourselves, right? But, you know, it all depends on the effort that you want to put into it and, you know, the connections that you make with the people. It's not necessarily easy, but if it's something that you really want, then I'd say go for it. Making our way up here. And, you know, I'm just kind of sick of the hubris that often occurs with the American mentality. And don't get me wrong, you know, I consider myself someone who's proud of my heritage and my origins, and I believe in having a strong country and having borders, and I don't think that we should just do away with national identity or nationalism. I think it's healthy for every nation to have a sense of pride and honor in who they are and where they come from, and to protect and preserve that. But, you know, I don't think waging war for oil and other resources and to kind of postulate ourselves as the world superpower is really anything to be proud of. You know, it seems more like the death throes of a ever increasingly collapsing civilization that's grasping onto this idea that somehow it's our destiny and our need to be the world police, and that